Oh,
you can start it off, Phil, because this is Monday, so it is your day.
Are we live?
Yeah, I said we're going live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special Monday Musing. Sorry about that mix-up on the start there. Sam is hosting the tech because I've just done the ChillCon announcement, so thank you for joining us. It's a special one because it's a team takeover. Patrick is with me. As most of you will know, he's travelled all the way over from Germany to join us for the tournament, and in fact it was Patrick who I actually think you bought our tournament tickets as well, didn't you, as a treat to get us all to go along. You did. So I
had to bribe you all to go.
You had to bribe us all to go. It was the way of making sure we actually went along. So here we are. We're all on the chat now, and I think, you know, Sam, you know, I think, are you upset that Rachel and I beat you and Patrick in the final list? Or...
What did you beat us with?
A moral victory.
You beat.
Well,
you beat.
You got
you
four
beat
favorite
Patrick.
games, if I remember rightly.
Yes, you got 4 on each, and we only got 3 each.
So we got, there you go.
Oh, was
so
it favourite games or was it best army? Because we got 3 on one and 4 on the other.
Rachel, no, leave it.
I've got the scores later. We'll check the scores later. I tried really hard. Like, I was being on best behaviour. I was being as nice as possible. Partly because I was expecting to lose the game, so I thought, it doesn't really matter. And partly because Patrick was rubbing it in every time he removed units from the table. It was just horrible. So I was just trying to be nice. But yeah, it was good. It was good. We'll get the scores up later anyway. We'll talk as well, actually. On the, is it the left-hand side? The left-hand side of the screen, we've just got a load of pictures from the event. A lot of them are from Games Workshop, so it's the Warhammer World Facebook page. So they've just been taken off there and put on here, so they're their pictures. But there's a bunch that we took, and a bunch of us from WGO and our team. There's 8 of us, I think, that went. Was it 8?
Yeah, yeah, it was good.
7 or 8. No, 8. We had 4 teams.
It was a doubles tournament.
Yeah, it was definitely 8.
Obviously, myself and Rachel, we were like team number 1. I think we called ourselves team number 1 was correct. What was our team name originally then? Let's go through that and the team names. Let's go through everyone and the team names. Rachel,
what was our... Well, originally, we were supposed to be Beauty and the Beard, but then I didn't get a beard in time.
You couldn't grow one, could you? You tried really hard.
I did. I was like putting on beard oil every day.
It doesn't work for me. Why would it work for you?
So then I threw it out onto Facebook, and the one that just absolutely I thought was hilarious was "Fill me stocks with dwarves and crocs." So I was like, we've got to go with that.
And that's what we walked to the front of the queue. They said, "What's your team name?" And we said, "Fill me stocks with dwarves and crocs." And they looked at me and went, "Have you seen the size of the box?" And there's a little box on the farm, and he was like, "You got anything else?" And I was like, and this was one of the last comments. It was Bearded Dragons, wasn't it? So we, in the end, officially we were Bearded Dragons, but we did have an unofficial team name. And then Patrick, you and Sam were
Magical Goats.
Magical Goats. That's nice.
I think that was Sam's invention once.
It was a joke because what did you say? Ascending to Demonhood or something like that, Patrick?
Yes, Dean should.
And then I was like, well, we're all goats here. We're all friends, but we're also magical, so it kind of works.
We're all goats here.
And then there was Pink and Steve, who they got the Knights of the Inner Circle award as well for 4 favourite games. And
they got
5.
5, the maximum possible score.
Maximum possible score.
Yeah.
So it was that it was on their it was on favourite games and favourite army.
Yes, and we helped in that because we played them without revealing too much too early. Our final game of the whole tournament was against Steve and Pink, so we helped them get the 5 out of 5. So they owe us for that.
Yeah, you for that. They should smash a bit off of their award.
Yeah. Just
break a bit off the top. And then, of course, there was Amit, who's on the chat now doing his wonderful chat management again. So he's in there. And also Liam. And that was, what was their team?
Caramel Thunder and White Lightning.
It's a great team name.
It was hilarious.
That's not a great team. That's horrendous.
Martin Diggs asked, how did favorite games work? You had for each team 2 votes for favorite army and favorite games. And as a team, you could get in both a maximum of 5 votes. And that would turn out to be at a maximum plus 10 points to your scores from the games. So each game would probably, for a major victory, be 6 points, with 5 games total made 30 points. So for the overall tournament, 40 points would be the maximum.
Right. Okay. So I won. That's what you're saying. Obviously with Rachel's help as well. Listen, this is a Monday Musing takeover, and I'll you know, that's fair enough that it's a Monday Musing takeover, but it's only fair that I do a little bit. Can I do a little bit of chat, like catch up on the guys in the chat, because we've got loads of people joining us tonight. I just want to give a few shout outs. So All Voices in there saying evening again. There's a few people that have joined me on the announcement video. Reaper28's in there as well. Hey, favorite Reaper. Ralph Hummel is in there. We got Marty Milligan. The new box set tempting you? Question mark. If you're talking about Forge Bane, it's on my desk. It's still, I've had it since Wednesday. It's still, Patrick's laughing his head off because it's on my desk and it's still wrapped in plastic. I've not even cut the plastic off the box. That's how little time I've had. Marty Milligan's in there. Daryl is in there as well, saying hello to everyone. Coleman is joining us. Martin Dix is joining us. Ralph's just mentioned his question. Daryl, I think I may have mentioned already, but hello again. And who else have we got? Oh, a whole bunch of people. Come on, quick, get to the bottom so Sam doesn't get angry with me.
There's a lot of people. There's
disappointed.
There's 50 people watching on a Monday, which is
That's good. That's because they knew you were going to be on, Sam.
I think it's because they knew Patrick was on. That was it.
It's all about Patrick.
Zerpimus Maximus. Who else we got? I think, yeah, I'm pretty much... Tom Wilson. Hey, Tom Wilson, thanks for joining us. Oh, I think, yeah, we're almost... apologies if I miss anyone. Big Mate Stanskill. Chapter Master Valrax joining us again. He was just on the show earlier. Hope you can make it on Saturday. That would be awesome if we can catch up. Graham Rigg. Dodd.
Is Valrax going to Chilcom?
Well, he asked what day is it on, and I'll try and get there. But he didn't know what date it was on at that point when he said he'd try and get there. So whether he's available on Saturday or not, I don't know. Red Cuffs is in there as well. Frost and Fist is saying beautiful people. Amit's in there. Fell Hate is in there. Smogs Raff is in there. Hey, Smogs Raff, thanks for joining us again. I'm feeling very in tune with you at the moment because I've just bought myself a magma dragon while I was away for a conversion, so I'm feeling pretty angry dragon at the moment. Liam is in there as well, and Patrick's saying hello as well. Patrick, hello, you're on the chat as well. How did you do that? Matthew Roberts, hey Sam and Patrick, hope your third game was your favourite. So I'm guessing that's against someone you know.
Yes.
Who was your third game?
It was both Seraphon players.
And one of them may well be Matthew Roberts.
Definitely is.
Guessing.
Yeah.
So, was it your favourite game? I mean, you're going to have to say yes now, aren't you?
To be fair, I think there was.
Well, they were Seraphon, and they had to be your best game.
I'd say there were 3 games that were as good as each other.
Oh, he's going political. He's
he is. Yeah.
4 games. There was 4 games that were amazing.
Do you mean the 4 that you won?
It didn't matter about winning.
No.
But coincidentally, was it the 4 you won?
Yeah. But I'm on about the players. So, but no, the Seraphon one was great. Like, they had a really good army, really good tactics. Everything's synergized really well together. Rachel's now got a vortex, haven't you?
Well, I haven't got one.
Well, you're getting one.
Have you actually ordered it? Thanks, Phil.
Yeah, I've ordered it. I'm doing a very special conversion for you as well.
I can't wait.
It's going to be the slanniest slan vortex ever. It's like, and you know, Sam as well, just to help him paint competitions, I might throw a ghost on the base as well.
Ridiculous. But no, that game was good. Yeah, there's the death team. Ourselves, myself and Patrick, as well as Amit and Liam, faced this death team, and they were great. I think the name was it Ash and Kevin.
Was that a good name?
I'm not sure about it anymore.
Okay, you just saw them as enemies. So, but no, they were great. They were great. They had an amazing army, beautifully painted as well. There was some really good. I love the bases. I know I always point out bases, but they were great. And the spirit host. Big blockader spirit host was just scary, and it just didn't die because they just sat on the middle of the board with grave sites, just healing and healing. It was great. But no.
Awesome.
Anyway, I'll let you carry on, Phil. Sorry.
No, that's cool. I caught up with the chat actually. Smog's Draft was saying hard to top your last Magma Draft. Thank you very much. I really like my Magma Draft. I think I got into a happy place with it. And but the whole weekend, poor old Patrick, the whole weekend was me talking to him about my plans for the Rune Smiters Magma Draft, and that is indeed what that conversion's for. And I was even sort of dreaming last night about it. And I was thinking, I wonder if I can get it done in time for Golden Demon. I have no no illusions whatsoever of winning a Golden Demon. That's not my level at all. But I have enjoyed entering the tournament for the sense of competition. And I think painting something, knowing you're going to enter it as well, is kind of getting that sense of competition in there as well. And it will get me inspired to paint it. I've already got out the remainder of my Fire Slayers. So we're going to see 2,000 points of Fire Slayers on the tournament as well. Oh, Moose. Oh, look what I've done to the camera focus, Patrick. Oh, no.
You said we haven't even spoke today yet, but last night, the dog woke me up at 1 o'clock, and then I didn't go back to bed. And all I was doing, I did the video quickly for the showcase, and that's going to go up tomorrow now, because it had a dodgy black background, so I've made it lighter. So if anyone wants to see the showcase of the Brayherd army, it's going up tomorrow. But the whole time where I was lying in bed, trying to go to sleep, I was thinking, I'm doing Golden Demon this year if I get a chance. And the model that...
How? You're right there!
Thanks for a great weekend with the WGO crew at Warhammer World and fun games played and chat in Buckland's Bar. Maybe now some cool models for skirmish games. Oh, I was chatting to Patrick about skirmish and tutorials.
Thanks, Patrick.
Thank you, Patrick. You like doing
I
that?
don't understand how you did it. You're right
He's
there.
just done a stealth donation while we're chatting.
I didn't see that at all. I'm sat grinning at the screen. He's working away at the side of me. I thought he was just on the chat.
Take his phone off him. Take his phone off
Frankie,
him.
because there's like a delayed thing. I didn't see he's done it. I didn't know what you were talking about. Thank you.
Have I even got pop-ups? Why is my pop-ups not working, people?
Your pop-up came and went. I've seen it.
No, but my little labels is not working. Oh, there it is. It's working. It's working. It's all good. Thank you, Patrick. Oh yeah. So we'll carry on in a second. But this is my Golden Demon that I'm going to be doing for this year. My big Lady Celestant thing, and I'm going to try and get that converted. So Phil, you and me will be up against each other in the large model category, which will be
well, if it's based on size, if it's based on size of the large model, I'm in for a winner.
Yes, yes, you are. But I've got big butterfly wings.
Guys,
so.
I won't worry about it too much because I'm totally going to win that competition. So
You're going to turn up with the Dread Saurian.
Yes.
But no, the weekend was really good, and I think I've messaged Patrick a couple of times now saying how enjoyable it was. I'm not massive on tournaments and gaming in general, so I went on the basis that if I won one game, I'd be happy, and that's what I said to Patrick at the beginning.
Sam, you won 4 games.
No, but that's what I said at the beginning, and it was just really enjoyable. It didn't matter what happened to the event; it was enjoyable still, wasn't it? Like every person that we played against was enjoyable. And I didn't realise it was a competitive tournament until the end day when they said, okay, so the next tournament's going to be a fun, relaxed, casual one rather than this competitive event. And I'm like, you what? I thought this was the casual, relaxed one. Like, you genuinely turned up thinking everyone was going to be just like giving each other chocolates and shaking hands and then going to the bar. But no.
People did give you chocolates, and me and Phil did go to the bar.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Yeah. It turned from a competitive tournament to a casual tournament then.
In fairness, though, Rachel, the reason I went to the bar was to fetch you back because it was our turn on the game. So I've also come up with a theory as well. You know, for those of you who watch Doctor Who, you know those angel statues that dash towards you when you're not looking?
I don't watch Doctor Who, but go on.
Okay, right. There's these horrible creatures. When you're not looking, they dash towards you. I've worked out when Sam doesn't know you're looking at him, he smiles. Because I was looking across the gaming hall trying to see how everyone's game's going, and you were grinning and laughing and smiling, so you were enjoying yourself.
I was. It was great.
Yeah, it was good.
It's just if you tell me to smile, I won't smile because it's hard. You can't force a smile. You have to be happy.
Oh, it was cool. So, should we do? Sam, you lead the show because I'm absolutely wiped out, and I've already done one show,
well,
so
we've still got
over.
stuff. Loads of stuff popping up on the left-hand side, like I said before. So these are all the pictures that some of it is bits from the cabinet. So there was 3 competitions for painting. One was for like a hero model, one was for a unit, and one was for a monster or like an artillery piece, something big. So there was 3 competitions for that, and it's going to be slideshowing through all of those. So there's a mix of things that are in there. There's also Best Army. So Games Workshop, I think all the staff nominated the best armies that they thought, and then they got all put into a cabinet as well. And everyone in the hall basically went around and voted on their favourite stuff from the cabinet. So they're all popping up on the left, so you can see everything. Oh, there's my Gorgon. Oh, poor little Gorgon. They were amazing. That was my favourite unit by far. The conversions, Terminator base with not custodians, Stormcast bits on them.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
And there's the army we played on the second game. Look at that for timing. And some more Carriage on Overlords. Okay, so let's bring up this score sheet. We'll see what we did.
Oh, we don't need to do that.
Yes.
Yeah, let's skip that bit. We don't want to embarrass you, Sam.
And then we'll talk about why Brayherds are not OP.
Oh.
I'm never going to hear the end of it.
I've just realised Sam's probably seen my description to the show, hasn't he?
I did. I read the description and was like, yeah, of course, he has to start. It was basically, the whole tournament was Patrick 1v2ing everybody that we played, and I was there just to wave at stuff and capture objectives and poke people in the back and just be a distraction. I was a speed bump for the entire tournament, and Patrick was just like, boom, just removing things from the table. It was great. I didn't realise, I thought we'd be probably halfway mid-table. Like, I thought 50 or, you know, top 30 or something, that would be really good. And then at the end, like, Patrick I was like, where did we come then? He's like, 5th, which is just mad. It's ridiculous. So well done, Patrick, for that. Scored 28.
You're alright, Sam. You were cannon fodder.
Yeah. Well, I was happy. 28 out of, and the top player was 32. So we weren't that far away from, you know, near the top, which is great. We got 3 game votes and 3 army votes. So that was good. We killed a lot of stuff. Patrick killed a lot of stuff. Although we did work out, I at least contributed to 100 points at the total kills.
You did spend 125 doing it though.
120. So the third, yeah.
Ralph Hummel's questioning how we only killed 1,400 points of models in our 6 games. They've missed a 0 off. It was 14,000 points.
Killing your own stuff doesn't count, Phil. It's what you kill of the enemy's stuff.
No, we definitely killed. As I said to you, Sam, I think my units were so effective. I killed some models on an opponent.
Oh yeah, that's true actually. But the points went to their team on the other table, so you didn't get that.
Obviously that's confused things as well.
It has.
Yeah.
So who else was on here? And Pink and Steve both made 14th place. They got 26 points. 10 of that was from being amazing people. Yeah. So they got 10 votes for that. Although they did kill almost 5,000 points worth of stuff as well. So they did really well.
Yeah, that's like a quarter of what we did.
And I'm scared. Oh, Patrick is now scared of Vanguard Hunters, aren't you, Patrick?
Yes, because that was the only unit that killed one of my units through all 5 games, killing my poor Lord
of Change. Yeah, I mean, the funny thing watching Patrick play is he was quite happy to remove half of an army in a turn, but as soon as anybody started taking maybe 1 or 2 Zangors off of his units, his mood just switched. He's like, I don't like this. This is ridiculous. Why are we even that? This is rubbish. Your stuff's OP. The whole time I'm like, you just vortexed a unit off the table and just dispelled everything by just being Tzeentch.
Yeah, so we had a practice game before we actually did the tournament on the Friday night. And so me and Phil went up against Sam and Patrick. And in their first turn, they'd taken 16 mortal wounds off the Dread Saurian
Patrick
with the Lord of Change.
Yeah, that's true.
Although I think there was a lot of Tzeentch players at the tournament, so we did do well to get... I mean, Patrick did really well to have somebody who was basically his handicap and still managed to place above a lot of the Tzeentch players that were there.
No, I think it is just because Brayherds are so OP, and obviously nobody else.
For sure. Yeah, they're crazy. They're crazy. They're definitely going to get FAQ'd.
Yeah.
They need to go up in points.
There wasn't many Brayherd armies there, was there?
I think there was 3 of us in total representing.
Yeah. So, no, you...
But it was still a team tournament, and even so, you might not have killed so much of the other unit, but you distracted them. You had been able to move around because most of the time you have been ignored. But by that, you moved to the victory points, captured them, stood there, and we won.
I like the idea. You know when the tournament's been on and people dive onto the winning list and then they try and get hold of the army list so they can see what's winning tournaments.
Yeah.
I just want to see the puzzled expression around the world as people go, there must be something really good about Brayherds. These guys can flip, you know? And then they're like looking at the list. I don't get it. How did this work? How did that work?
And the thing is, I didn't even get to summon the Jabberslith more than 2 games. It's just, I've played with no points.
But the Jabberslith did do something amazing in the game. Do you want to tell us about that, Sam? It's my favourite tournament story.
Was there 2? Oh, it was the same game. This, you know what? That was probably my favourite game because 2 of the coolest things happened. Obviously, it benefited me, but
Obviously.
the Jabberslith basically. I summoned it, it came into the table, it charged into a combat, they ignored it because they knew that it was useless. And then the second turn, it flew over and charged some Temple Saurus Guard, and they basically killed me easily because they had D3 damage with all of the buffs that they had. They did like 11 wounds to me. So I rolled 10 dice, and every roll of a 4 or more, I do D3 mortal wounds to the enemy. And I rolled 6 4s or more. So I did 6 D3 mortal wounds, I think it is, to the enemy, and they only have 1 wound apiece. So I basically self-destructed on the Saurus Guard, and they were only worth 100 points, and my model was 120, but they killed it, so it was fine. And in the same game, my Beast Lord, with the Brayherds, you can ambush, so all of my army practically that's Brayherd turns up on the sides of the table. It's like Braveheart, it's brilliant. And my Beast Lord and 2 units of Bestigors were all going to charge this Carnosaur, and everybody failed the charge apart from the Beast Lord, so he went in by himself. And I accidentally made Patrick lose a lot of his models because I said I need to go first with the Beast Lord, otherwise I'm going to die. And I managed to take 6 wounds off the Saurus dude, the big Carnosaur, in that first round of combat. And he survived the hits back and survived an Arcane Bolt and then died in the second round. So good survivor. Big fat Beast Lord is the way to go, basically.
Julian Stanford says he should be working, but he's listening to us, guys. Seriously, don't get in trouble listening to us, guys.
Just don't blame us. That's the main thing. Okay, let's bring up the second score sheet. So this is 46 down to 90, and we can see 56 is Bearded Dragons. So
Who was Bearded Dragons? Because I mean, we were filmy stocks. And I think we were so good that they didn't put us on the list because we were too far above the others.
Fair enough.
I think we got our own list, Rachel. They called it the Totes Amaze list. It's just like who was totally amazing this weekend, and they just put us on it, and then that's it, really. That's as good as it gets.
I didn't realise it's got a thing on the side saying total score from games as well. That's cool.
So yeah, we don't need to look at that.
Did you both get, at least from Forge World, a plaque for supporting, selling more Dread Saurian?
Yeah, we got the most Dread Saurian sold award in a weekend, I think.
Rory did get a lot of attention.
Rory got a huge amount of attention, and it was so funny because it was like hard to play the game, wasn't it? Because you'd be like, right, we're moving into movement, and someone go, oh, nice Dread Saurian. And it was just like, yes, it's like, what does it do? And you like stat sheets and all the rest. It was good though. It was really good.
But what was best was obviously, so Phil had airbrushed it for me, and then Pink had done a lot of the rest of it as well, and and it was all quite a bit of a quick job, and then Phil had spent ages, doing up his entire army, and obviously people are walking past and straight to the Dread Saurian.
I was like, the Magmadross. Yeah, they just ignore the Magmadross. Just go look at the Dread Saurian, why don't you? It did look amazing though. I think it's like the most photographed model as well. I think probably we got the award for, Rachel, because on that higher base as well, he probably leaned over everyone, didn't he? Going,
it was awesome. He did. He just looked amazing, and I was so glad that I got him for the tournament because it was so much fun just being able to play with him.
And he must have killed between 9 and 7 infantry.
Models, yeah.
Is that all you killed in that whole?
I mean,
All 5
infantry.
games?
No, yeah, over 5 games. Yeah, I mean, he was so OP. I mean, we're talking about like Sam taking out 100 points with 120 points. I think we talk about 40 points with 480 points. I think it's
Okay, firstly,
right.
he's 380 points, and
Oh,
secondly,
okay.
and secondly, my rolling was just terrible. That's what it was.
What did you think mine was? What do I do best in life?
Hey, you just said that you got 6, 4s on a 10 roll or something like
Yeah,
that.
okay.
Yeah.
That's why. That's the
Nailed
highlight,
it.
though. That's
Nailed
the
it.
highlight. Killing myself and half killing a Carnosaur. That's the highlight. And trying to kill Arcan in 2 separate games, charging at him and failing to do my Herdstone axe rolls. I needed to roll a 6, and I would have slain Arcan. And in 4 rolls I did in total, and I didn't get any of them.
Yeah.
Quite disappointing.
Yeah. I mean, Rachel was taking on some Nurglings, and no, that didn't work either, did it? Literally.
I was handling those. It was only when everything else got sent in. Okay, he couldn't take half an army on himself.
No, that's true. That's true.
Poor little Rory. He's getting so
I know,
much...
he's got Rory. I think we just need to come up with some house rules for him. Just,
What, he can't die?
hits on 1, wound on 1, re-rolls. Re-roll ones.
Liam, don't talk about dice rolls. So we'll talk about...
Oh, bless him.
Hey, there's your army. Oh no, that's the other dwarf army. That's the one
That's
that won
ours.
best army, wasn't it? That was the French team.
Yeah.
So that's their big, massive Volstag, I think it was called. We're getting to the army stage now on the pictures. I'm just going to have a look. See if it cuts.
I mean, you were halfway through talking about Liam.
Oh, yeah. But look at that. That's really nice. So, oh yeah, if any of your pictures are on this left-hand side and you're watching this back, put in the comments afterwards your
Who you
name
are.
and the timestamp, and then, you get a little bit of credit for it as well. So Liam's dice rolls were horrendous, apparently. I think he rolled nothing but 1s, and Amit has done nothing but wind him up about it since they've got back. I don't think either of them were happy. I could slowly see Amit's... He was really optimistic. I think the first game, they were both going to go and smash face. And then during the first game, both of them just instantly deflated and just started playing the game. And then by the end of the tournament, they were just throwing dice. Didn't really matter what happened. They were just throwing dice and having fun, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean, we played Liam and Amit, and we were saying actually it was really... Because we loved being able to play so many different people and try so many different armies, but the last game on a Saturday, it was quite nice just to play with friends. And
But
bless
we
him.
ended up with Liam.
It was the bit that got me was Phil was saying that they knew that they had all this teleporting, so they knew that Phil had Fire Slayers that teleport and Rachel can teleport with the Seraphon. But that Liam's battle tactics, even knowing all of the discussions they've had the last 6 weeks or whatever, and Liam just went, let's push everything forward. So they pushed everything forwards, and then Phil and Rachel are just like, well, let's just deep strike down and appear on the back of the table.
Yeah, so we literally teleported right behind them in a full line. And the look on both of their faces as they both just went, huh, didn't see that coming.
What was really useful is, the cardboard rulers that come with the General's Handbook, the special one. You got these 9-inch cardboard rulers. And as Liam was moving his model, he just dropped the 9-inch ruler down behind him and goes, there you go, Phil, plenty of room for your units. And then he got 3 of the rulers and made like a little helicopter pad symbol for me. It was perfect.
They did good though. I mean, Amit was loaned the army by Pink, so it's Pink's army and Amit was using it. So it's his first time using it, to be fair, and he did well, and he was learning the blood type points towards the end. Liam's always really good at reading the rules in the books, but not as good at reacting. And I think he did a really good job trying to pick up the armies towards the end of the tournament. It's just difficult when you've got, it's difficult doing the tournament as it is, and you've got to do the scenarios, and you've got to know your army, but you also need to know a lot about the other people's armies and how you react to that. So the tournaments is more about knowing the opponent's army than it is about knowing your own. Although you need to know your own so that you can get through the games quick enough and know your rules without having to keep checking them and things like that. So I think the two of those, probably the most important things of actually doing well in a tournament is knowing your enemy and knowing your own stuff quickly.
Yeah, I think I was sort of chatting to Patrick earlier, and I was saying, if you don't think you know the game and your army well enough to go to a tournament, the best thing you can do is go to a tournament. because by the end of 2 days of intensive gaming where you've been up against 5 different armies, and in the case of doubles, you were really up against 10 different armies, you've really learned a huge amount about your army in the space of those 2 days, but you've also probably been exposed to more different types of armies, you know, the sort of different types of armies than you've ever played against before. And, you know, it's like, okay, we saw a chunk of Zeech there, you know, and that's not surprising because they're completely OP, especially when combined with Brayherds. But we saw a bunch of other stuff as well. You know, I played against Dispossessed for the first time. We played against, Rachel, who else did we play against? It was good. It was just
we played
fun.
quite a lot, didn't we? And then, to be fair, I mean, by sort of the second day, when we were then playing some of the same types of armies again, we knew what we needed to hit first. So, like, when I think we played someone who had Lord of Change, and straight away we were like, right, we just need to shoot that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just get rid of it.
I mean, there was that game we set up for where the opponent had got Night Lords from 30k, and we were definitely like, oh, we've set up on the wrong table. But, you know, it was a good game. It was a good game. We still did all right against them, you know.
I'm going to bring up the score too. So just because the last one was Caramel Thunder and White Lightning, which was good old Amit and Liam. So they are there. I think Liam was saying he's going to get last place. He didn't get last place. So well done to both of them.
He got second to last place.
No, he didn't. He was 80 out of 90. So he did really well.
There's no losers at the tournament. Everybody's had a great time. You know,
well,
I think even
the guys who came last, they were saying they really wanted the wooden spoon, so they came last and they didn't get a wooden spoon. So they were like, "Where's our spoon? Like we've come to get this and we've not got it."
Oh man,
disappointing to say the least. Trophies. So, Pink and Steve both got those nice little glass trophies, didn't they? With the awards for being the best army votes and the other one.
Is it Knights of the Inner Circle?
Knights of the Inner Circle, yeah. It comes with loads of hidden benefits. They don't tell you straight away, but they send you a letter through the
Oh, that's so exciting! How jealous are you right now?
Yeah.
You better be nicer next time, Sam.
I was nice. I was trying to be so nice.
What are you saying about Patrick, Sam?
No, maybe I just wasn't nice enough.
I was nice.
Patrick was just killing things very quickly. Then I think both of our armies, didn't they? They got entered. They got nominated for the best army. So the GW staff picked our 2 armies as a whole. So that was really quite good.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was well cool. I was actually, it's one of those things I didn't expect it, and it was all quite nice. And they also stole, I think you guys had this as well a little bit, they stole the magma drop away for a bit as well, so they've taken some photos of that. And I've not seen that on the Facebook, because what they've done is on the Facebook group, they've just done the pictures from the cabinets and stuff, haven't they?
Yeah.
Which I have to say, if anybody's looking at them and thinking, and I'm not talking about my army here, but if they're looking at some of the stuff and going, why did, that paint job, etc. The lights in the cabinet are really stark. So you can't really see a lot of the subtleties of a lot of those paint jobs, I don't think. So I think maybe that's why they take the models away and do a bit of photography as well, maybe. So we'll see where they go. But that was exciting as well.
Yeah, they took Patrick's, was it your Lord of Change and the banner, Patrick?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I'm not surprised.
They'll probably pop up in a White Dwarf or on the website community page or something at some point in the future. They took my Fat Beast Lord. He went and he managed to win the hero painting competition. So we got a little certificate for that as well. So that was, I mean, the amount of heroes that were in that cabinet, I was thinking mine's very puny in comparison. He's just a little Beast Lord on the shelf, and there was all these big dramatic posed characters, and I was like, yeah, there's no chance. But I was quite surprised that he managed to be the best of those, which was quite good.
You put a lot of work into him there. And that was the thing. I was chatting to the Games Workshop guys afterwards, and that's what they said. They said, looking at it, you go, oh yeah, cool model. And then you look a bit closer and you go, wow. And then they looked a lot closer and they were like, this is incredible. I think one of them counted the amount of blending on a single pouch. And they could see 52 individual layers on the pouch, including a label from the maker of the pouch on the inside of the pouch, fully scribed with accessories for beastmen.
6 hours per pouch. It's just ridiculous. And that was for every vestige. That was the thing. The army isn't like, it doesn't look very good. I was saying to Patrick, to really make your army stand out when you go to these tournaments, you really want to focus on doing big conversions and very contrasting colour schemes that stand out from the tabletop, because you can paint as well as you can, but nobody really picks up the models too well. But stuff that are bright colours, they just look amazing. They stand out. I mean, what was that Skaven arm? Was it Skaven or was it the Caradron Overlords? The ships, they just looked amazing.
They were Skaven, but they were converted Caradron Overlord ships, weren't they, and stuff like that.
And they had like screaming bells mixed with the big Caradron Overlord ships, and the colour scheme was really bright. It had all this fancy freehand like symbols all down the side of it. And the conversions were great as well. They had like a rat ogre. And you look at the model more and more, and it's like, okay, there's extra features on here. Like there's a rat ogre on the front, like you had with the old ships, where you have like the maiden on the front of a ship or whatever. And all of the attention to detail was there, but you don't look at the detail until you see the overall thing that makes your eye look at the army. So
yeah,
I think it goes to show that if you're going to be doing tournaments in the future and you really want your army to stand out, pick a bright colour scheme, pick some really cool, big, fancy models, and then go to town with it.
I like how you broke my entire army's paint scheme down to one tiny derivative, which is what, Phil, you just picked up your models and you went, psh, psh, psh. Then you picked up a brush and went, blah.
No, I said that's what I should have done. I should have done bright colours with an airbrush.
That's what I did, Sam. Cheers for that.
I said nothing other than good things about his army, including the amount of time you spent on those bases, which, by the way, looked amazing.
Cheers,
with the ridges and all the lava inside it.
I think some of the guys on the chat actually played against Amit by the look of it. I think, is it Dodd? I think Dodd played against Amit on game 5, was it? Yeah, it was.
One more turn and you and Liam would have had that game, I think, game 5. Oh, there you go then.
Yeah, that was interesting because Rachel, we got caught out on one of our games, didn't we? We thought we were on for a major victory, and it turned out to be a loss. And that's because we were playing the game based on the battle scribe or whatever it's called for the game. I can't remember what it's called now. And the winning condition was whoever's got the most points when you run out, or whoever has the most run out of time, or whoever has the most points at the end of the game of turn 5. And if you're both equal on points, you count up the amount of kills. Well, I mean, we knew we were a million miles ahead on the kills, so that was no worries, because out of 2,000 points, we'd killed approximately 4,500. So we knew we were doing all right on that, but we played and we were ahead on points, and we were like, well, we think we've got this. And we kind of, in the last turn, changed our tactics and kind of consolidated a little bit and backed off a bit and those kind of things. And then it turns out there's a no dice down policy at GW. So if you do a tournament there, you need to be aware of that, which basically means you kind of have to forecast forward to the 5th turn. And the idea is it stopped people stalling for time. I get it. You know, I get why they did it, but it kind of caught us out because we didn't know that, did we?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of got the worst of both worlds, because then it happened the other way round, where actually we got a minor victory because we didn't make it to the end of our turn 3. Because I think they'd had their turn 3, but we'd rolled, we hadn't got the initiative, so we hadn't quite managed to finish our turn 3, and so because the objective was one where if you hold both objectives at the end of turn 3,
it's a major victory.
You win the game. So we had both objectives, but we just hadn't quite managed to get to the end of turn 3. So we went, oh, well, it's a minor victory then.
When actually that should have been a major victory, shouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But I think with the other one, and I think that it is, I actually prefer it that way, because in that one, I do feel like we did really win that game, whereas the other one, I mean, we were nearly tabled by the end of it. So it's like, yeah, all right, we had one model on the objective, but realistically, we hadn't won that game.
I think that's the thing. I don't disagree with the ruling at all. I was kind of saying, well, it makes perfect sense. We've more or less been tabled, and just because we conveniently have more points at the end of the turn, that's cool. I get that. You know, it's because it's, you know, you play forward sort of thing. So I get that. And I was quite happy with it, like you said. And it is a shame that we didn't know about it when we played our earlier game, because that was a major victory, which would have been 3 more points, which I think would have put us above Sam and Patrick. Maybe.
You keep including me on this this team that I'm supposedly with. Like I say, distraction speed bump. You would have maybe got above Patrick.
So I think it's I think get familiar with the rules as well. And I think we were saying this, wasn't it, that I think when we showed up to the tournament, there is an assumption that you know what's going off, and not a lot of time telling you what's going off. And but it was their first Age of Sigmar doubles tournament as well, and they teed it up in their minds as this is a pro tournament. That's what the point system was designed for. These were for gamers, and we were all surprised by that because we thought we'd shown up to some kind of fluffy weekend. It was quite there was some serious lists there, weren't there?
There were some very serious lists.
Yeah. So maybe they didn't feel need. It was a bit like even the best painted army. We didn't even know you had to. We didn't even know you had to vote on it, did we? We were having lunch, and we were like, "What?"
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was good though. I think we learned so much from the tournament, both in the armies we were playing, the armies we were against, tournament play in general, because I've only ever played one other tournament other than this one, and the guy I played it with, Luke, basically carried me through that one as well. So I'm not a very experienced tournament player.
Aren't you?
I'm a very good doubles partner. I will just let you do what you want, and I'll do what you tell me to do. So it's good. Patrick was a brilliant partner as well. So I enjoyed it, and we've already agreed, Patrick, you can back out at any moment, but we've already agreed that we'll go to doubles again together.
Yeah,
I think we're planning the next one.
So, funnily enough, we were sort of joking and saying, well, what would have happened if Phil and Patrick would have gone together and me and Sam would have gone together? But the thing is, so Phil completely looked after me, got my army built up and paint, because he came over 2 nights before, just right, let's have a look what we've got. I'm going to tidy your bases for you. Realised that I didn't have the models that I'd put in my list, so bless him, starts taking bits and building it for me.
I think you
a couple
need
of nights
Phil.
before, so Phil properly looked after me. He was like, right, I'll print out your list for you and I'll do this, and just try and read the tournament rules if you get chance, and try and read the game rules if you get chance as well. That'd be great. And then Patrick was properly carrying you as well, until he did you a little pack of stuff.
Oh, the pack was amazing. Yeah, everything was printed. Me and Rachel just turned up to go and play with people who knew what they were doing. And I think we said all along that if Phil and Patrick went together, they would have probably won the tournament hands down. I was a handicap for Patrick, and I think you weren't necessarily as much of a handicap as I was to Patrick, but Phil's army was really, really good, and he knew, all the cheat sheets and everything. I think the combination of Phil and Patrick, they would probably win. Maybe they should go together next time, and you and me just go and lose every game.
I don't think that's good for our marriage.
Oh, okay. Maybe me and Amit then, or me and Liam, and we go.
I'll go with.
And then at least one of our teams will win the tournament. It's fine.
I think there was 2 limiting. If we want to talk seriously about our performance in the tournament, which, by the way, we won 2 games out of 3, we're happy. We said all along that we're Rachel. If we win 1, it will be a miracle, and we will celebrate that miracle by immediately dashing off to the bar and missing the following game. And we pretty much did that, so that went really well, didn't it? And but limiting factors. I didn't know enough about opponent armies. Definitely. So you're like, what do I target? I don't know. What is that thing? And they go, it's a load of change. And you're like, oh, that sounds cute. And then I think the other thing is there was a unit in my army that definitely wasn't very effective for its 100 points. And I'd immediately replaced that. It was the half guard. 5 of them isn't enough to be effective. So I'd immediately change that for one of the characters. I was sort of saying something like the Grimwrath Berserker. So I had a hard punching sort of character in there, and I could have fit that in actually, because you can have 4, can't you? So yeah, definitely.
Reconnected now. There you go. There's your wonderful headphones.
Okay.
Okay. It's not gone down for ages, has it? I wonder if it's working still. That's weird. I can hear you fumbling around with your headphones. Wow. Wow. Why is that not working? Okay. Oh, we're live.
Oh dear.
Wow. Phil has turned into a small Sam in a circle. Patrick, Phil is gone. Sam, we told you not to bring the salt. I've been the least salty ever.
You have not.
What? Not even been that salty. 1 game was annoying.
Right, so bearing in mind that you won 4 out of 5 games, how upset have you been about that 1 game that you lost? Are you over it? This is the question. Are you over it?
It was because I had to go through the
He's
rules.
not over
I had
it.
to tell. You shouldn't have to tell somebody else their entire rules and work out afterwards that you shouldn't have been wiped out. But no, it's fine. Right, I'm going to try and ring Phil. Maybe.
Bear with us, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Right, we can hear you now, and you're on.
Oh,
I'm alive.
That happened to us as well.
Our internet just disconnected for some unknown reason.
Well, we're back, and that's
It's
all
all
that
good.
counts.
It's all that
as long
counts.
as we're all back. That's cool.
Sam, you are being salty about being salty. He needs a WGO. I am salty McSalty. T-shirt. Oh, yeah. I need a T-shirt that says I am salty McSalty. Could play it over transitions in bat reps. Yes, we could. I think I could have been. I made a point of not being salty in the tournament. There was one game that annoyed me, and that was it. Other than that, I've been pretty good.
You were great. You were.
And
great.
I thought I was pleasant to play against.
You
Well,
were.
you must have been because you got votes for favourite game. In fact, I did think about this, and every single person that was there with
I love how
WGO,
Phil's like, that was you. That wasn't Sam. I saw that, Phil.
I did
saw
think
that.
you were looking at
You're
this-
aware you've got a camera on you, right?
I'm not going with Phil ever in a doubles ever
Oh,
What,
Phil was
no?
awesome.
because he'll blame me for everything.
Phil was good fun. What was I saying? I was literally saying something then.
Saltiness.
No. Never mind, it'll come back.
Okay. What were we talking about before it disconnected us?
I can't remember.
Oh, we were
I
talking
was
about
talking
armies.
thinking points into Rory. That was the thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of. I think if. we
Yeah,
were-
I don't. I think
Go
in
on.
a 1,000-point game, he's too much.
Yeah, and not effective enough for those points in a 1,000-point game,
Yeah.
is he?
Yeah.
But he was super cute. I mean,
I
he was super
loved
cute.
him.
And everybody. What was funny was everybody's. I was walking back to the bar to find Rachel, and there was a guy walking in front of me, and he saw his friend, and he went, "Oh, what have you got next?" And he went, "I'm only up against that Dread Saurian." And I just like tapped him on the shoulder and went, "Nah, he's cool, man. Don't worry." His name's Rory. He's really friendly.
He just wants a cuddle. I think I'm sorry I said that to her. I was like, oh, he's alright. He just wants to cuddle. He's like, has he cuddled many infantry units this game? And I was like,
9.
I was like, he just wants some love, and sometimes he just loves them a bit too much.
I think in hindsight, we just lacked shooting, didn't we? At
Yeah.
all. Like any. Like, I mean, I had
Ever.
my Fire Slayers with their little 8-inch range axes. And, you know,
Every
and
time.
it made a difference. But what we didn't have that was, I just want to kill that Boon unit over there. I just want to get rid of that because it's
Yeah.
making your army too powerful. And we couldn't reach them. Because most people didn't do what Liam and Amit did for us and provide us a nice helipad. Most people thought, you know what, those guys can teleport, so let's defend the backfield. And and that tends to what happened, isn't it? We could have just done with some form of sniper just to take out some of those units.
I think shooting and magic is really powerful. The games the games where Patrick didn't have to compete magically, it was like domination on that. But whenever we came up against the death, like Patrick struggled a little bit because you couldn't dispel the high casting values that a lot of the death things had got. I think it was Arcana in particular.
Yes.
It's quite difficult. And shooting, obviously, I've got no shooting in the Brayherds. Patrick's got, like, I think it's 20-inch or 18-inch range, is it, with your Pink Horrors?
It's 18-inch.
But it wasn't like it's going to take a unit out or anything. It's going to,
No.
you'll tickle units. Whereas when you go up against a full shooting army, like Pink's was a lot of shooting in his Stormcast stuff. And it suddenly becomes quite a threat. You can't put your Lord of Change too close, where he's actually able to do something productive because you risk him getting killed. And that's why in our final game, the big bird finally died because he just kept him back and then got a unit jump down on him and kill him. But you couldn't go forward because he would have just been killed as well. So I think Age of Sigmar, you need some form of range to actually do well against every army.
Yeah, I think we'd kind of... So the reason we didn't bother too much with shooting is because we knew that we could teleport. So we're like, oh, it's fine. We'll just teleport in and that'll be our range. But yeah, so since coming home, I've made 2 lists, both involve shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
And I think the next tournament list, I wasn't really too keen on doing loads of tournaments in a year, but I'm actually quite keen on doing.
I'm up for another one.
I'm quite keen on doing another one this year. If we can go to the Throne of Schools, the casual doubles event, and I take an army for that, then I'm looking forward to it. But I'm definitely going to do something that's better in terms of doing more stuff. I'm going to do like shooting or a magic-based army this time.
You're not going to
Sam,
play
why don't you
OP
keep it to an
Brayherds?
elite? I was going to say keep to an elite army like Moonclang Grots or something like that.
I am doing an elite shooting or magic army that I can convert stuff and make things look really good, but I'm not doing a horde army ever again in my life. So there, that's my thing. Wargamer Vikings
here.
here.
Paint me up 80 skinks?
No. Speak to Phil. Speak to your partner, Phil.
I'll sort them out, Rachel. 80 can't take. 80 can't take more than an hour and a half maximum.
not when you're just doing it. Shh.
And then
It'll take longer for him to build the custom bases.
At the end.
The custom bases would be the longest.
I said I'd paint the gold on the weapons.
I'm sure you would.
You did.
Derpimus, what condition was the rhino outside Warhammer World like afterwards? Lots of dents the size of Sam's knuckles. No, not at all. Reaper, Sam, you can't be blamed if it's the truth. Okay, I'm just salty.
I remembered what I was going to say earlier.
Something, yeah.
Yeah, no, I did realise that everyone that went as like part of WGO, everyone that went with us, all of us got, I think, at least 3 favourite games voted for them, which is really sweet when you think about it. That's really nice that actually people enjoy playing us.
Yeah,
yeah,
good.
So I think that's a win.
It is. Acharya is saying, Sam, what's your opinion on other people dropping things on your models and knocking them over? Is he trying to spark the salt? I think he is.
What I've realised is that people
He's
are starting to
trying to
realise
fire up, isn't it?
how fun Poke the Bear is. So since me and Sam have been married, I've played Poke the Bear, which is basically where you keep irritating someone just a tiny little bit over and over and over again until they just become enraged. And people that like spend a bit of time with us realise how fun that game can be.
It was quite annoying though. I will answer because I had the 20 bestigores that everyone knows I've spent a long time painting these things, and somebody on the first game just dropped a bottle of water onto 20 of them, and Patrick's like, "Your models." I'm like, "Oh, for God's sakes!" And then somebody dropped the Beast Lord off the table. Somebody dropped the Gorgon. I think the tables, me and Patrick were saying the tables are quite close together, and I think
they could do with just like a few, maybe like, what, half a foot or something?
Either take out some of the tables or put some side tables so you can put your books and your dead piles and things like that on, so you're not constantly having to go under the table and knocking people over and things. I think that would help, but then you get less tables and that's less money, so they've probably looked at it and decided no.
Oh.
Ben Posner, thank you for subscribing, Ben Posner.
Thanks, Ben.
Any other? I mean, we've gone through a lot of the positives of the event. I think it was well run. I think everything was done quite well in terms of everything was done to the schedule that they'd set, and it was very, very smooth. I think it was flawless in terms of smoothness. But
it was so easy, wasn't it? Like there wasn't any time where we were like, where do we go? What do we do? Everything was, really explained to you, and you knew what time you needed to be there. You'd go in, your number would be on the screen. You'd know what table you needed to go to. And you just,
they're very good at it.
Yeah.
I think if if you're going to try and criticize anything, given how good the food in Bugman's Bar can be, the free food that was provided in the staff canteen, no, it was okay. It was okay. It was free, I suppose.
I like our food. It wasn't great, but it was free. It was free.
I honestly didn't pick up on that. But I mean, food's food.
But the thing is, when you have the Bugman's Bar food, like Phil says, you have one food, and then in the next room you have the other food. You're like, oh, I should have just had a Bugman's meal for lunch instead.
It costs more money, but and like I say, that's because there was no negatives from the event.
No.
As in, like I say, if you want to make me say what was the worst part of the event, that was it, and it wasn't that bad. Still filled a hole, but. It was the players we played against were all good fun. I think we should give a mention to the French contingent. Sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
They
definitely made a lot of effort, along with Patrick as well, really, to travel so far. They obviously got a massive group of French players coming across together, and they themed themselves as well with all of their white and
they were
and
black
striped
I
t-shirts.
loved that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that they've
Yeah.
done that.
And-
I mean, we were really lucky because we got to play the store manager of Games Workshop in Paris, and also the store who was teamed with the store manager in Lyon.
Yeah.
So, and they were really they were so patient with us because it was it was the first game, and neither me and Phil had sort of practiced our armies together other than the game with you and Patrick. So we were,
Your opening question was, how does the turn start again? And they were like, okay, this is Age of Sigmar. It's a game you play with models. It's like...
And I think the tournament scene in France must be quite hardcore because they were sort of. In fact, even when we started, they went, "Let's shake hands now because we probably won't talk to each other." At the end of this.
We're fighting by the end.
So obviously they'd come probably expecting this, another hardcore
Fisticuffs at the end of the game.
tournament. And then I was like, "So what are we playing? Who's doing the turns? What's going on?"
Were they nice to you after that point when you were like, "What's this game again?" Were they just like, "Oh, we've won this game. It's
we've
fine.
got this. This is in the bag."
Let's just show them the ropes."
No, they were so good though. They were really patient, and actually they were really good fun.
That's good.
Yeah, they were great fun. And they were also, because we went out, you were really thirsty, weren't you, on the Saturday night? And we hadn't got any drinks in the apartments we were staying in. So, and I didn't want you wandering the streets late at night on your own trying to find a shop. So we went out, didn't we? And we bumped into some of the French guys. And it was the weirdest thing to be in a shop, like a late night shop where they serve everything over like a bar. I've never been in one like that before. It was weird. And we were in this shop buying drinks, and all the French guys showed up. And I'm just sat around a bar talking about a magma drop. It was awesome. It was awesome. It's like, this is great. There's like shops and magma drops. What more could you want?
Yeah, that was good. But they actually, to be fair, I think a lot of them did really well. Was there?
Yeah. Like the top 10 teams, top 15 teams were probably all the French teams, to be fair, or at least
It
a
wasn't
lot
all
of
the
them.
French teams.
No, obviously,
But
Patrick was there. But, yeah.
They were talking about how they'd complete. One of the guys had, they were talking about 15 test games they played,
Wow.
fine-tuning
That's 15
that
more than
army.
us, Phil.
Yeah, it was 15 more than we've ever played, to be honest.
That's true. That's true. I think we probably played 10 games in the last year.
We were
And they'd done 15 in prep.
Can't
for
even
tournament.
imagine what it'd be like to have 15 games under the belt.
But it was also something Sam and I noticed, that from game to game we improved our gameplay
Yeah.
and to know what the other would do and where to place our units. So yeah, some test games would have done better.
Ralph says he actually knows the store manager from Lyon. So there you go. Say hi to him from us,
I think
Ralph.
he was Kuhn.
Yeah, yes, was he? Or was he
Oh,
the
no, not-
Parisian
yeah,
one?
no,
I think he was
that-
Paris 6, I
Yeah,
think.
Kuhn was in
yeah.
Paris actually.
Yeah, okay. Good guys, anyway.
Yeah. But I think so. We sort of did because we were starting to get better, weren't we? Because we lost our first game, and then we got a minor victory, and then we got a major victory. So you were sort of thinking, well, from then on, it should, it was going uphill. But then I think we got 3 or 4 hours sleep on the Saturday night. So we
Yeah,
weren't
because that shop,
really...
it took ages to get to serve at that shop for the drinks, didn't it? We were there hours, literally hours.
You know what, actually, though? On the first day, by the end of the first day, Patrick and me, and Phil and Rachel, and Steve and Pink, so 3 of our 4 teams, we all had a loss, a minor, and a major win.
Oh, we did.
All 3 of us, all 3 of our teams had that.
I think
it
the
was the
difference was
second day. Me and Patrick slept, and so did Pink and Steve. And you guys went out.
Pink didn't.
Oh, that's
Pink
true.
didn't
That's
sleep.
true.
And
But Pink was stood with
obviously
me on his game against me. Me and him were stood on the end of the table chatting while Patrick and Steve played the game. Like we literally went and got a drink and just stood chatting while they were just like playing. So I think getting sleep definitely is a thing to do at a tournament as well.
Quite possibly.
That's true. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think we couldn't really help it for starters. The queue was really big at the shop. And it was so big that Rachel was starving when we left the shop.
We needed to get food, and obviously there's a queue for food as well.
Yeah, there was a big queue for that food as well. So it's not our fault, really. It wasn't our fault.
Did anyone notice the 10mm thick pouch, Sam?
Yeah. Well, one of the guys said, "I love the big beer belly on his commander," and I was like, "No, that's just layers. That's
It's not green stuff. It's just patience and waiting for stuff to dry." Oh, look, Patrick Sangors.
Woo.
Woo!
Was there anything else we wanted to talk about? So today was just really about the tournament, the experience, what we're going to do next time. We could talk about that really, how we're going to prepare for the next tournament. We don't even know when it is. Is it like October or November for the doubles Throne of Schools?
Yeah, I think around about October, because there is a singles event in July, and that is meant to be. Yeah, I don't think I can do that anyway. I think I'm actually on holiday, so I can't make that one. And I don't know. You were saying doubles is just it's kind of a shared experience, then, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, and
because you have your teammate with you, and you can talk with him and experience everything together.
Yeah.
Laugh about it later.
Yeah.
Cry about it. Fill up the soul part.
The shops.
I think it is better, and it was good staying over as well. I think if you were going to the event and travelling back and going to the event, it wouldn't be as good. But the fact that we stayed in Nottingham and we could just wake up and kind of go around the corner to McDonald's before going to the event, I think that was quite good.
Yeah, I mean, we made a weekend of it, didn't we? Like,
yeah, and it was nice. Weekend. It was a nice chilled out weekend. It was very, I mean, it was tiring. All of us were knackered by the end of the Saturday.
I fell asleep on the way home.
And by the end of the Sunday, it was just, last night, it's tiring, wasn't it?
Yeah, because the problem was there had been 19 teams, so the noise level in the gaming hall had been very, very high.
Matthew, it's nice to have a shoulder to cry on after getting a table. That was the third game. There's a funny bit actually, because me and Matthew was he teleported all of his skinks to try and take one of the objectives, and me and him were just talking about how he could win the game if he took this objective and stuff. And I killed a skink, and I was like, yeah, I killed a skink. And then I turned around and I was like, let's see what's going on the rest of the table. And this slant on this vortex that we hadn't touched for the entire game had just disappeared. And I was like, what happened to that? And Patrick's like, oh, my army just destroyed it in one turn. I was like, oh yeah, of course. But yeah, it was good.
We've had a question a couple of times on the chat, and Frost and Fist has just asked it again. So, did anyone play Daughters at the tournament?
No. There was two people, I think, with armies there that were Daughters of Cain.
Oh, so two or no? You just said
no. We didn't play.
We didn't play.
No, we didn't play against them, but there was two players there,
yes.
Yeah. And I don't know. We don't know where they came. Because I know that one of the previous questions was how did they do, if you like. But to be honest, none of us played against them at all. I don't think.
I think that is a shame that they didn't place on the results list what kind of armies it had been, because they only said if it was Grand Alliance, Chaos, Order, or even mixed, but not of which armies it consisted.
Yeah, they might be able to do that. Did we have to hand lists in as well?
Yes.
So they might be able to do something about that later on. There's been a few people asking, saying that we should do our own tournament as well, our own doubles tournament.
I agree.
WGO one. That would be quite a bit of prep, but it might be worth considering.
Yeah, and in fact, actually, I was chatting to a couple of people at the tournament. We haven't chanced to catch up on this, but and they were also trying to organise a tournament, and they got everything they needed for the tournament, but they didn't really have a channel to advertise it on. And we were saying maybe we would catch up in the future or something like that. They got something like 25 tables and everything. So, and they'd set all of this up previously, and it had never come to fruition, sort of thing. So, I think I've got their details somewhere, and we'll have to try and maybe touch base with them, because we've said all along the issue is we'd want the tables to be beautiful, we'd want them to be amazing, we'd want it to be a really cool thing. So that's always the thing. You can't just say, hey, let's do a tournament, because you very quickly need, I mean, with WGO we've got what? Go on.
I was going to say I think Warhammer World have got nice scenery. It's not like they obviously can put some amazing scenery out there, but the stuff they had was good enough for the games, like more than good enough. It was fantastic tables, but it wouldn't take much to do the scenery. I think the problem you'd have is No, yeah. Cool dry brush. The problem you've got is you need to do, for my opinion, I'd say you need enough space to have the side tables, room to move around, you know, nice aired room that's big enough for people to go to. And with that, I don't know how much it would cost to have a big enough room with enough space around it. Obviously, GW just cram everybody in to get as many people into that room as possible. But our event, if we were going to do it, would be a smaller one, less people, but we'd still have to cover, work out all the costs and things. So I think it's worth looking at, but it would be good. I think it would be great to do. We just need to find a good place and see if it's doable.
I think I'm with you on that. I think you give every table an 8x4 table, so there's like either just a 2-foot section at one end of the table for both players to share, or a 1-foot section at either, just so you could get your book and then your models behind the book. Just so you had that bit of space. That just made life a little bit easier. But there was 90 teams in there. It was amazing they got that. I mean, if someone had said how many teams are playing here, I'd have guessed around about 50.
I'd have said 50 as well.
Yeah. 90 is incredible. And it worked, didn't it? Okay, you were back-to-back with people and stuff like that, but it wasn't a problem. It wasn't a problem. Everybody was brilliant. Everybody tended to respect each other's models. Yeah, there was a few accidents, but... That's accidents. That's not intent. There's a lot of respect. I found people that were, because I was saying to people, do you want me to pass your model and stuff? Because I was always checking if I picked someone's model up, and everyone was cool. Yeah. But people who passed me my models respected them. It was great. That was brilliant.
I think having the battle tomes and stuff on the iPad was great for me. Like, it's rather than having all the books everywhere. Like, Patrick was focusing on doing the stuff, and I just had the iPad out, and I was saying to Rach, I don't know if anyone's watched Beyblade, but in that there's like a team of Beybladers that play the tournament and things, and there's one kid on the side who's basically like their little gadget dude. They just read all the stats and stuff. So Patrick was playing away, and I'm like reading all of the so I can know ahead of time what things are going to do. And then when Patrick's like, I'm going to do this or this, I'm like, this is what they can do. And then he just picked what he's going to do, and then we'd play it, and it just made it really good. You didn't have to keep asking the opponent what everything did. You just kind of brought it up on your screen, and you kind of read it for yourself. I thought that I'm definitely sold on digital battle tomes from now on, like not having the actual physical books. It's really good for tournaments.
But that was my idea why I printed our war scrolls for our opponents, so they could look it up on their own and be prepared what they would face.
Yeah, that was a really good idea that you did that, Patrick, to be fair.
Giving them a pack so that they didn't have to
do that.
Ask everything.
Not mine.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I just noticed Patrick's case for his iPad does this cool stand-up thing. I thought I got the same as you, but mine doesn't do that.
I need to get one of these cases. I keep hearing about these cases.
I feel a bit cheated now, Patrick.
No, it should be the same for you.
I think it does it. Why didn't I think of doing that? Nice one.
Nice. Warhammer.
Oh yeah,
that
one's talking about using it for the battle tome. So there you go. It's Warhammer related. What we should War Gamer Vikings heading off. Thanks for coming on the chat, dude. It's good to see you again earlier as well. Don't forget ChillCon, everyone. Next week we are going to be there. We are the official media partners for ChillCon, so expected to see us there with cameras, having fun, talking to everybody. So get there, and thanks for joining us, Mr. Viking.
Right. Anything else you want to talk about?
Patrick about everybody's. I was going to say I'll get everybody's army lists up from the tournament and put them up on the forum. There's a section on the forum for army lists. So if we do a battle report, we put the army list up for battle reports on the forum. But I'll also create a post for the doubles tournament, and we'll get all 8 players. So that's Steve, Pink, Amit, Liam, Rachel, Sam, Patrick, and me. So there you go. We'll get all of those armies up so you can see what we did. And also, I think we're going to try, Rachel, you were saying you might even take me on either a live bat rep soon or something with your 1,000 points versus my 1,000 points. Are you still up for that?
That could be interesting, actually. Yeah, definitely. I'm off this week as well, so.
Okay. Might try and sneak that one in then.
I think my Brayherd are going to be in a case at the end of time now. I'm not going to probably use them ever again.
He was saying to me today, it's like, I think I might just sell them. I was like, you do not need to sell them.
Well, I don't need them either. That's the other thing.
Hang on to them because you know how much you like to re-roll.
Sam, they're going to be very popular now. When people see they came 5th in the tournament, they're going to be the next.
So somebody's going to want them. Somebody will be like, that's the exact army I saw that came 5th. Yeah, you can buy it. You just need to make sure you've got a friend called Patrick who knows what he's doing with his each army as well.
Well, I don't know, because Brayherds OP, I mean, they need nerfing, don't they?
Yeah,
really?
definitely. Into the ground. I mean, 140 points for 10 Bestigors is only 40 points more than 10 Vulkite Berserkers.
Yeah, 120 points for something that can wipe out 100 points.
Yeah, exactly. It's just OP. It's just OP. And they need to get on it straight away.
Well, it is, because if you compare to myself and Rachel, who had 2,000 points, and sometimes we struggle to wipe out 100.
Oh, that's true.
I'm not sure how much of that though was just me and Phil just having poor management over our scorecard. There were so many times where we had to go back to people and just be like, "Yeah, do you remember that game that we played like yesterday morning? Can you remember like what we killed? How many points
And they
it
were like,
was?"
nothing. And we were like, okay, yeah, that's probably true. It could be, I don't know. The amount of times we had to go back to a table and say, "Have you seen my Dread Saurian?" You know.
Okay. Right, I think I've not got anything else to add about the tournament stuff now. Have you?
No.
No? Have you guys? What's going on for the rest of the week? So we've got ChillCon on Saturday, so there's going to be no show on Saturday from me. Wednesday, what's going on Wednesday, Phil?
I don't know, because I've got some product reviews I really need to get out. So whether I'll get time to do a battle report, maybe if Rachel, if you're around later in the week, maybe. Did you say you're away on Saturday, Sam? Did you? Sorry, what were you saying?
No, we're at ChillCon on Saturday, Phil.
Oh, of course we are. Yeah, we're all away.
I think I need to put an alarm.
I knew I got something in my diary. I might try
something.
You know,
I mean, fortunately, he wasn't talking about it
maybe.
just an hour ago, so
Yeah,
I
no.
can see how it slipped his mind.
Yeah, it's true. I do need to get these. We've got some cool product reviews in, and the people who sent them to us have been incredibly patient because they knew we were all getting ready for the tournament. But I want to try and get those edited and up so people can see the cool stuff that we've been sent for review, because we've got some great stuff at the moment. So I'll focus on that for this week. If we can get a live battle in, we will do. But yeah, it's going to be a bit of a post-traumatic stress week, I think, for us after all of what we went through to get to the someone's just put classic Phil. There you go. I'm not even going to finish the sentence. I'm just going to be true to form. Yep.
I mean, it was very stressful before the tournament, wasn't it? And you know,
Tiring
making sure we'd
more
all
than
got
anything.
stuff painted and prepared. And
I'm writing a book on how difficult it was.
Oh, Radimal75 just said, "Love Monday Night Musings," by the way. Cheers, man. That's cool. Thanks for joining us. And actually, you know what? Made a fair point earlier on. The digital stuff is brilliant, but why not get them updated? Yes, I agree. Just get... One thing we worked out was, obviously, you can use... I mean, I know the iPad, you can screenshot your individual pages, and including the FAQ section and including the bits like the General's Handbook, which was really useful for me because I got all my army rules in the handbook. I'd only got 4 units. I screenshotted them all, and including the 4 pages of the core rules. And then I just went to the photo section, selected them, and saved as a PDF iBook. And it went back into my book, and it was just a unique little pack for that tournament with just, I think I had 16 pages in total, and 4 of those were the rules, 5 of those were the missions. So the rest was just my army, which I never looked at.
Yeah, and I copied your idea, and it worked brilliant for me as well. So good idea on that.
Cool. Matthew Roberts says, "Great meeting you guys. Subscribe to your website." Now looking forward to watching some bat reps. Cool, man. Thank you very much, Matthew.
Matt.
thanks, Matt.
Cheers.
Special thanks from me to Matthew Pink for saving my butt and letting me borrow an army for the tournament. Yeah,
That's a good point. In fact,
That's why-
maybe we should end on a few thank yous. So thanks to everybody who came up and said hello and etc. That was just amazing. It was good
I
to meet you.
couldn't believe how many people did like recognise us and come and say hi. That was incredible, wasn't it?
That was brilliant. It was amazing. It was good fun.
The Facebook one this morning, because they took the pictures of all the people who were nominated for things and stuff, and there was one this morning for the Hero of Legends, the hero painted thing, and they just put a picture of me with a little certificate thing, and somebody had put something like, "Isn't that the guy from Wargammer Online?" And then someone's like, "Yeah, I know them." It's like, I didn't realise that people, you know, obviously we have a lot of viewers that come on weekly and stuff, but just on the Warhammer World page.
I've just assumed everybody that comes on weekly is my mum with like 1,000 profiles or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it was nice. It was nice to meet a bunch of people.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to put some faces to names as well.
Yeah, but it's also thanks to Patrick, because we wouldn't have gone without Patrick. You know, one, he bought the tickets, and two, he basically spurred us on to going. You know, we would have probably gone, yeah, it'd be a good idea, and then we wouldn't have gone. But you know, we kind of went because Patrick made us go, and that's not like it wasn't forced, but it was kind of that push to we should really do it. Well, no, but we should do it anyway, and it's definitely been good.
And actually, from that, then we have all sort of gone, you know what, that was such good fun. You know, can't wait to do the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so but we should also not forget Pink for also last minute Dread Saurian work, which is why Rory made it to the tournament. Wouldn't have happened without Pink.
Yes.
And Steve as well. Steve, who drove everybody else that couldn't fit in my car to get there as well. So thank you very much, Steve. And everybody put time into their armies as well. I know that Steve was working right up until the last minute to get his army sorted. Pink was working right up until the last minute to get Rachel's army sorted.
Phil was
Liam
working right up until the last minute to get Rachel's army sorted.
And you know, Amit had a lot on at lately, and he was kind of on at one point he was on the fence of whether he'd be able to make it or not, and he got there, he committed to it, and you know, thank goodness that Pink got him an army as well, because that really helped out. But he was there and he gamed, and that that got Liam there as well. So it was great to be. I think that was the thing. I enjoyed the fact it was a big crowd as well. We had a lot of fun and meeting up in between games and laughing at each other's fortune failures.
I thought you were just going to say laughing at Sam then as well. We enjoyed meeting up and having a good laugh. And then
behind your back.
Yes, that's true.
But of course, to you guys, Sam and Rachel. Rachel, my battle partner with the mostest, without a doubt. Absolutely fantastic. We just giggled our way through games, didn't we, really? Giggled and misbehaved through most of the games, which wasn't good. It wasn't. I think some of our opponents were quite patient with us. You know, when you started saying things like, "Oh, that model's so cute," and yeah, you need to roll the save. It's like, I really like what you did with the paint scheme. It was like that. It's like, and then they're like, what am I doing? You're rolling a save, Rachel. Oh, right, okay. So yeah, it was all brilliant. And Sam, of course, Sam, the world's best painter, recognised officially at Warhammer World. Awesome stuff. Awesome. You put a hell of a lot into it, Sam. You know you did. You almost killed yourself getting there, but what a beautiful army. And I think it paid off.
Doing it again.
It paid off. Do it all again. Grots.
Yes. So we'll plan the list tonight. We'll start buying it tomorrow, and then we'll get ready for the tournament earlier this time, ready for October, if it's October. Yep. So you might see more from us this week. You won't see us on Saturday. We might do a live show from the ChillCon, maybe, although we're probably going to be recording
maybe something on Facebook, couldn't we? Maybe.
Yeah. So we'll do that. Oh, tomorrow I'm going to have the showcase back out again. I'm going to wait till tomorrow to release it. But it'll just be the Brayherds, and I imagine Phil's going to do a showcase on the Fire Slayers soon after as well.
Yes, and we'll get Rachel's done as well. And
Patrick's Tzeentch army is already on the playlist, so if you want to see Patrick's army, just check the showcase playlist, and I think it's the latest one under there, so you can see what Patrick took as well, or at least the army as a whole, and the list will be on the forum.
Yeah,
and then Rachel, we'll get yours up. Yay! Cool. Right, thanks everyone for coming. Thanks for everyone who's thumbs up the video and watched us for over an hour and a half almost. And stayed persistently with us while we disconnected.
Yes.
And we'll see you later on.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See ya.